With that attack, it's an attack that stunned the city. A young woman in her driveway on Long Island when someone approached from behind and tossed acid into her face.
It left Nafia Ikram disfigured and in constant pain. Her family every year asking for the public's help in finding her attacker. Their pleas finally answered. Now, Terrell Campbell, an aspiring rapper, faces several charges.
Eyewitness News reporter Lindsay Tuckman is live in Mineola with the breaking developments. Lindsay?
Yeah, Sandra, David, it's been almost exactly 5 years, and now there finally has been an arrest made in this case that has been really so upsetting for people here in Nassau County. And now that young woman, that Hofstra student, finally does have some answers after that arrest was made and the suspect was arraigned today. And we were there to learn more about what happened and hopefully get some answers about why this brutal attack happened. Police brought in 29-year-old Terrell Campbell into a county courthouse just about an hour ago. He was wearing a giant red winter coat when he was brought in, and when we tried to talk to him, he did make no remarks to reporters, but he did plead not guilty to 2 counts of assault in the 1st degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the 4th degree, and 1 count of unlawful possession of a noxious weapon. Now, this attack, you may recall, happened back in 2021. It was a brutal attack involving sulfuric acid. It was on March 17th. Surveillance video shows a hooded attacker run up behind Nafia Ikram. She was 21 at the time in her own driveway in Elmont. And shockingly, you see him throw sulfuric acid in her face and then drive away. Now, in court today, prosecutors say it took years, as we all know, some long years to even identify the suspect. But once they did, they figured it out through a car seen in surveillance video and tied it to the Brooklyn resident. Eventually, they found his search history from the night of the attack, which included questions that he Googled about sulfuric acid being cleaned up and injuries from it. We also found out he is an aspiring rapper with a song on YouTube where he says, quote, "Try and run up and have your face burned in acid." It's for those reasons that an arrest was finally made. Now, Ikram, who was in the courtroom with her family today, suffered severe injuries in the attack, and she still struggles with poor vision in her right eye and scarring on her face. And her attorneys say she has also suffered emotional trauma since the attack. Now, Campbell was held without bail. The judge decided to remand him to jail, and he has another court appearance next week. We are right now outside police headquarters, where police are just speaking now about the case and the further investigation. We are going to hear from Ikram's family as well. The investigation is still ongoing, though, as there are still some questions. Even though we do have this arrest, which is a relief for many here in Nassau County, one question remains, and that is, why did this man target this young woman? Live.
Absolutely. This man splashed her, threw acid in her face, and then made a rap song about it. This is the world we are living in. Demons walk among us, and then they'll sing about it, rap about it on the internet. Let's go over to this next video just to get more about what we know about this whole situation.
After nearly 5 years, an arrest has been made in that terrifying acid attack that left a Long Island college student permanently scarred.
Back in March of 2021, Nafia Ikram was attacked in her own driveway in Elmont when a hooded man threw a cup of acid in her face and then sped off. The injuries were devastating, burning her throat and leaving her blind in one eye. Now prosecutors say they have identified the suspect. Carolyn Gussoff has covered this story from the very beginning and just spoke with the victim. She joins us live now from Elmont. Carolyn?
Jessica and Christine, it's what prosecutors call one of the most vicious and barbaric acts ever to take place in Nassau County. And tonight they say they've solved at least part of the mystery. They say they now know who threw acid in the face of Nafia Ikram in her driveway behind me 5 years ago, but they still do not know why. A flower delivery worker from Brooklyn, 29-year-old Terrell Campbell, brought to court where he pleaded not guilty to assault, weapons, and noxious materials charges. Prosecutors say he is the hooded man in this 2021 surveillance video who threw acid in Nafia Ikram's face as the then 21-year-old returned home from work.
Finally, we believe this almost 5-year-old mystery has been solved. Campbell thought he got away with it. He bragged on the internet for everyone to see. but he could not have been more wrong.
The break in the case came late last year through a tip, leading cops to Campbell, a red Nissan Altima parked in front of his home, matching the car that's been sought for years. Law enforcement then uncovered what they call shockingly incriminating web searches.
Minutes following the 2021 attack, we found searches asking, how do I remove sulfuric acid from my car's fabric?
Prosecutors say he not only searched about the crime, but the aspiring rapper also sang about it, a song entitled Obsidian.
On the street in the night like a hitman assassin. Try to run up and have your face burning acid.
Obsidian means hot lava that comes from a volcano. It's sickening, it's cruel, and it's brazen.
Have anything to say for yourself? Campbell said nothing. Ikram says she has mixed emotions, still processing the shock of the arrest after enduring dozens of surgeries, skin grafts, and vision loss in one eye. The agony of not knowing who did this for years.
I hope that things come to light. I did have my tears of joy yesterday, for sure.
We took a lot of heat over the last 5 years. Oh, you're not doing enough. The police department's not doing enough. Know this. The Nassau County Police Department never gives up on their victims.
But today, there is relief and thanks.
I want to take this opportunity to thank every single person, every single prayer.
And officials say the investigation is not over. They're still looking into whether or not Campbell was paid for this act and by whom. And they say that more arrests are possible, but there is not a lot of time left. There is a 5-year statute of limitations. Reporting live from Elmont, Long Island, I'm Karen.
There's a statute of limitations on throwing acid in someone's face. I did not know that. I did not know that at all. That is crazy.
Carolyn Guzhoff, back now to you.
And Carolyn, you've been covering every development in this case for 5 years, the arrest taking that long to happen. There was a huge reward offered. What could you tell us about that tonight?
There really was, Jessica, an extraordinarily high reward, $50,000. And police made it a point today to say that this case finally broke because of cooperation from the public. In other words, a tip or multiple tips came in. And the police commissioner did say that somebody will be collecting on that reward, but he wouldn't give us any more details.
Neighbors coming together to help finally solve this. All right, Carolyn, thank you.
This is a crazy world we live in. Let's go over into the AI breakdown just to see if we can find out anything else. This is a crazy situation. Let's get into it. Let's jump into it. So, nearly 5 years after the brutal 2021 acid attack on a student, Nafia, authorities have arrested a charge of suspects. So Terry Campbell, 29, Brooklyn, was arrested and indicted on February 10th, 2026, and he faces charges of second-degree assault, criminal possession of a weapon, and unlawful possession of a neurotoxic material. Campbell pleaded not guilty and is currently being held without bail. If convicted, he faces up to 25 years in prison. So Campbell, the inspiring rapper known as Young Based Prince, I might be saying that wrong, but it doesn't matter, allegedly released a music video for a song titled Obsidian in 2023 that referenced burning someone in the face with acid. So 2 years after he said, yeah, I did this, so I might as well use it in a lyric, use it in a song. So prosecutors revealed that he performed online searches minutes after the attack for sulfuric acid remover and how to remove sulfuric acid from the car. And then a red Nissan Altima registered to his address was identified as the getaway vehicle fleeing the scene. So on March 17th, she was ambushed in her Long Island driveway, and the assailant threw sulfuric acid on her face, causing severe burns to her face, eyes, throat, and leaving her permanently scarred. Despite the arrest, a specific motive has not yet been established, and the victim stated she does not know the suspect. But then they made a good point at the end of the video, asking that it's a possibility that he was paid to do it. Could it be someone she was intimately involved with? Or is it just a case of There are horrible people in the world, and they don't care, and it's who they hurt, and they just hurt random people. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a terrible world sometimes, and terrible things can happen in it. But this is why we got to review this stuff, and we got to know how to move and look after the people around us. Sometimes it will help, sometimes it won't. But I guess that's the ultimate, that's life in itself. Let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with me.